Trixie Channel presents. One of the most incredible roles played by Golshifte Farahani is the role of Elly in About Elly of Asghar Fargadi. Hello everyone, welcome to Trixie Channel. Today is the day. We are going to talk about Golshifte Farahani's best role she has ever played. I'm sure you have been waiting for this video for the longest time. So please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button to be a part of our family. Let's start About Elly review. At the end of Asghar Farhadi's gripping first act about Elly, the title character disappears. Young schoolteacher Elly, who is Tarane Ali Dusti, has traveled from Tehran for a weekend getaway with a group of working couples in her 30s. She's supposed to be taking care of her 3 little kids playing on the beach, but she's suddenly gone. This disappearance gives rise to the mystery that drives the rest of the film to be lead to an understandably critical comparison to Antonino's La Aventura. But the scene immediately following our last glimpse of Elly reminded me of an entirely different movie, Spielberg's Jaws. Most of the vacationers are playing volleyball behind a villa they are staying in when 2 of the aforementioned children come out from the beach and start screaming about their 3rd child. It takes the adults a few beats to catch this, but then they run around the house and, noticing that the 3rd child, a little boy, is nowhere to be seen, desperately throws himself into the raging waves of Caspian Sea. So, what do we think of an Iranian film whose conceptual parameters are broad enough to encompass La Aventura and Jaws? Perhaps Asghar Farhadi is the new surprisingly bold Iranian filmmaker. You should first check that in the late 1980s and his early 1990s, when Iranian directors such as Abbas Kiarostami and Mohsen Mahmadbaf began to capture the world's attention, European-style cinematic showed obvious similarities to this modernism. It was a movie. Even when new directors such as Jafar Panahi and Majidi added commercial touches to this basic model from his late 1990s, their work still spoke to the language of international art cinema. About Elly presents all the tendencies of Farhadi's mature style as brilliantly as a separation, but it's not the follow-up to the latter film. Produced just before it won the Silver Bear at the 2009 Berlin Film Festival, it has yet to be released in the United States due to complicated rights issues. This belated release will be a welcome addition to film lovers as it cements the writer-director's unique talents. One is a kind of dramatic structuring, like peeling an onion. The first layer you see looks familiar and natural, but the more layers you add, the more complex it becomes. This is the starting point for what appears to be perfectly happy and carefree vacation. 3 couples, many of whom are law school friends, head to the Caspian Sea for a weekend getaway. One woman invited her daughter's elementary school teacher, the lovely Elly, in hopes of setting her up with another bachelor on a field trip. Ahmed is a handsome friend who has just returned from Germany after his divorce. For Americans who have seen very few Iranian films, or only those focused on the poor and have-nots, the characters here are striking. No joke, they are cosmopolitan city slickers everywhere. Certainly, it reminds me of the Iranian with certain styles of music and dance. I also recall the fact that the women all wear headscarves, which is required by law in Iranian films, but even they are casual and stylish. From that little white lie to the exposure of various personal plans to others like that, peeling the onion skin reveals an ongoing streak of hidden realities and what comes after Elly's disappearance. What is a darker and deeper cut than the earlier ones. But Farhadi groaned as he said in an interview when he read that the author of Slide and Sound said it was all a criticism of the lies and deceptions that permeate Iranian society. You can actually hear it, a filmmaker expected to explain Iran to the West. So what do you think about this review? Have you ever watched this movie? Just comment down below your ideas here and we will read them all and share our ideas with you too. Until the next video, guys. Trixie Channel.